Welcome to the Savage Gentleman Podcast. I am your host, Pastor Benjamin Wilson, and today's episode is a continuation of the series, Navigating Modern Masculinity Through a Biblical Lens. Today's segment takes us on a profound journey back to the roots of what it truly means to be a man in the eyes of God. We live in a world where the definition of masculinity is often muddled by societal expectations and cultural shifts, leaving many men searching for a clear vision of their role. Today, we will delve into the lives of two towering figures of the Bible, Job and Joshua. Job, a man of incredible faith and perseverance, teaches us about the resilience and integrity required to endure life's most severe trials without losing our grip on righteousness. On the other hand, Joshua embodies the virtues of courageous leadership and steadfast faith as he takes on the mantle of leadership from Moses and guides the Israelites into the promised land. Through their stories, we'll explore how the timeless principles exhibited by these men can guide us in reshaping our understanding of strength, leadership, and faithfulness. Join me as we uncover the lessons these ancient role models have for modern men striving to navigate our personal and spiritual journeys with honor and conviction. Let's rediscover what biblical masculinity means in today's world and how to apply these lessons to live a life that truly honors God. Job. In the annals of the biblical history, in the annals of Bible stories, a few characters stand out, or very few characters stand out as prominently as Job, especially when it comes to demonstrating resilience and integrity in the face of overwhelming adversity. Job's life offers a profound narrative on the essence of masculinity as defined by spiritual steadfastness and unwavering faith. A wealthy man, blessed with a large family and an abundance of resources and possessions, Job's world is suddenly turned upside down. He loses everything: his children, his wealth, and even his health. Despite these severe trials, Job's response is symbolic of his deep-rooted faith in God. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. How many of us could experience that and that be our response? Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. That's Job 121. This declaration of faith amidst loss illustrates an essential aspect of biblical masculinity: the ability to remain steadfast and maintain integrity in the face of life's trials. Job's perseverance under duress reflects the strength required to uphold our faith and principles regardless of external circumstances. This strength is not a mere physical or emotional fortitude, but it is deeply spiritual, rooted in a thorough understanding and acceptance of God's sovereignty. My brothers, in today's world, we can emulate Job's example by maintaining our integrity and faith even when faced with personal or professional setbacks. Demonstrating resilience isn't about never feeling despair or doubt, but about how we respond to these challenges, striving to act in ways that honor God and reflect trust in His ultimate goodness and authority. Job's unwavering fidelity to God in the face of relentless despair is epitomized when he refuses to curse God despite his wife's urging to curse God and die. This moment is pivotal, highlighting not only Job's steadfast faith, but also his deep-rooted understanding of the nature of his relationship with God. Even as his afflictions deepen, Job's refusal to turn against God embodies the pinnacle of spiritual resilience and integrity. This aspect of Job's character is a profound example for us in maintaining honor and fidelity in relationships, whether divine or human. It teaches us that the true masculinity, it involves enduring hardships and persevering our core values, preserving our core values and commitments without yielding to despair and bitterness. Y'all, excuse me, I'm reading through this note that I have here. I wanted to make sure that I got this right and I mispronounced one of the words. Let me read that for you again before I jump back into what I'm saying. It teaches us that true masculinity involves enduring hardships and preserving our core values and commitments without yielding to despair or bitterness. This is important in the modern context. See, this translates to facing life's darkest moments with a spirit that does not falter in faith or moral conviction. It forges a legacy of integrity and faithfulness that impacts generations, multiple generations that follow us and follow our lead. Job's interactions with his friends reveal yet another dimension of his character. This dimension of his character is his commitment to truth and righteousness. As his friends accuse him of wrongdoing and suggest his suffering is a punishment of some sin that he has committed, Job refuses to accept false blame or denounce God, defending his integrity and understanding of God's character. Brothers, I want to share with you something my father shared with me. You have the power to accept or reject anything someone says to you. When we look at the life of Job, that is exactly what he did. When his friends came with accusations and suggesting that he was being punished for his sin, he took his authority and power and the ability to reject what it is that they said, and he did exactly that. He rejected them because he knew who he was and he understood God's character. This aspect of Job's story highlights the masculine virtue of standing for truth and justice, even when misunderstood or attacked by those close to you. It's a reminder that true masculinity involves a commitment to righteousness, not just when it's easy or supported by others, but especially when it's challenged. Today, we face numerous societal pressures that might tempt us to compromise our values. Like Job, we are called to hold firm in our convictions and act justly, ensuring our actions and decisions are aligned with our faith and moral principles. As the dialogue between Job and his friends intensified, Job's steadfastness becomes even more pronounced. Despite enduring painful accusations from friends who argue that his suffering must be due to this sin that he's committed, that no one else saw, this hidden sin, Job remains unwavering in his self-awareness and righteousness before God. He challenges their flawed perceptions and defends his innocence without succumbing to bitterness or resentment. A lot of times when we are being falsely accused by those around us, especially those that are close to us, we seem to bring on or take on bitterness and resentment. It's important that we do not succumb to these things. This teaches us a critical lesson in biblical masculinity: the strength to confront misunderstanding and criticism with grace and grit. We emulate Job by fostering open and honest communication and standing firm in our principles, even when facing undue judgment or navigating through the misinterpretations of our intentions by others. People will look at your situation, look at what it is that you're experiencing, and they will misinterpret not just that experience, they will misinterpret your intentions. Job's example shows us that true strength is tested not just by handling adversity from strangers or enemies, but by dealing with conflicts even within our closest circles. The life of Job is powerful. It's a powerful testament to the qualities of resilience, integrity, and righteousness, each essential components of biblical masculinity. His experiences underscore the importance of remaining faithful and principled in the face of trials and misunderstandings. For men navigating the complexities of modern life, Job's example offers valuable lessons on maintaining spiritual strength and integrity. By embodying these traits, we honor God and lead lives that inspire and uplift those around us, fulfilling the divine calling of true biblical manhood. Through his story, we are reminded that our greatest trials can forge our most vital virtues, reshaping our understanding and expression of masculinity in ways that resonate with divine purpose and contemporary relevance. Now let's turn our attention to the life of Joshua, another towering figure in biblical history and a model of courageous leadership and unwavering faith. His journey from spy to leader of Israel encapsulates a range of masculine virtues deeply relevant to the challenges we face today. As Moses' appointed successor, Joshua's initial task was to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land, a mission that was fraught with formidable enemies and immense responsibilities. Yet his response to this challenge is marked by a distinctive blend of courage and obedience. The command given to Joshua, "Be strong and very courageous," was not just a call to physical bravery, but also to moral and spiritual fortitude, emphasizing the comprehensive nature of biblical masculinity. Joshua's courage was deeply rooted in his faith in God's promises. This was first evident when he, alongside with Caleb, brought back a positive report from Canaan, contrary to the fearful accounts of the other spies. You can read about that in Numbers 14, 6 through 9. This act of faith under pressure illustrates the vital masculine trait of standing firm in one's conviction, even when such a stance invites popular dissent. In the contemporary context, we draw from Joshua's example by upholding truth and integrity in our professional and personal lives, especially in situations where the prevailing currents advocate for the easier route of conformity or even silence. As demonstrated by Joshua, true masculine strength involves championing what is right and just, even at the cost of personal loss or ridicule. Building upon Joshua's demonstration of courageous faith, his leadership style further exemplifies how men today can assert positive influence within our spheres of influence. When Joshua took the reins of leadership from Moses, he had a task, and that task was guiding the Israelites into a physical territory and nurturing their faith and communal bonds during the transition. His leadership was marked by strategic foresight and adherence to God's commands, ensuring that every action was aligned with divine will. His unwavering adherence to God's commands facilitated the Israelites' successful conquest and settlement in the Promised Land. By following divine guidance, Joshua ensured that every military and civil action was grounded in righteousness, avoiding the pitfalls of arbitrary power. His ability to lead through God's wisdom rather than sheer force or personal desire ensured that his leadership was effective, but also just and honorable. This careful balancing act between assertiveness and obedience highlights an essential aspect of masculinity: the capacity to lead decisively while remaining responsive to a higher moral and spiritual authority. In today's world, we embody this form of leadership by being decisive yet considerate, authoritative yet ethical. In professional settings, this might mean advocating for fair practices and innovation. At the same time, in our personal lives, it could look like taking initiative for the family's welfare or community involvement without overshadowing the contributions of others. Joshua's example encourages us to adopt a leadership style that respects and promotes the well-being of everyone, proving that strength is not overpowering, but empowering. Joshua's leadership was characterized by his commitment to God's law and his dedication to serving the community over personal ambition. His rallying call to the Israelites, "But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." You can find this in Joshua 24:15. This rallying call underscores the importance of leading by example, both in your family and in the broader community. This declaration not only reaffirmed his commitment, but also set a standard for leadership that prioritizes collective well-being and spiritual alignment over individual gain. Brothers, we emulate Joshua's example by fostering environments, whether at home or in the office, that prioritize collective growth, spiritual nourishment, and ethical practices. Joshua's leadership model teaches us that true authority is exercised most effectively not through coercion or dominance, but through service and moral leadership. This approach has profound implication for those of us in positions of influence or even authority. When leading a family, a community group, or a corporate team, the principle of leading in alignment with the higher ethical standard remains absolutely crucial. We can take a cue from Joshua by setting examples of fairness, transparency, and respect in our leadership roles. By doing so, we achieve our goals and foster a culture of trust and respect, proving that the most enduring form of leadership is one that uplifts and moralizes rather than dictates or demeans. This nurturing style of leadership not only benefits those we lead, but also enriches our character and our legacy. The life of Joshua offers rich insights into the essence of biblical masculinity, encompassing courage, faithfulness, and responsible leadership. His story encourages us to pursue a form of masculinity that actively engages with challenges, stands firm in faith and adversity, and leads with integrity. As we navigate the complexities of modern identity and responsibility, Joshua's life serves as a beacon to all of us, guiding us towards fulfilling our roles that are not only aligned with biblical virtues, but also relevant to the needs of our communities. By revisiting and embodying the principles illustrated by Joshua, we forge a path of righteousness that not only defines our personal character, but also enriches our communities. Brothers, as we wrap up today's exploration into the life of Joshua and Job, I invite you to join us in our next episode of The Savage Gentleman, where for part 3 of our navigating modern masculinity through a biblical lens. You see, next week, we're going to dive into 2 more biblical figures, 2 more titans of scripture, Nehemiah and Boaz. Each of their stories offer rich lessons in leadership, integrity, and relational wisdom. You see, Nehemiah is a visionary rebuilder. His life teaches us about the power of determination and strategic leadership in the face of daunting challenges. With his noble character, Boaz exemplifies the virtues of kindness, protection, and righteousness in personal relationships. Together, their stories will further illuminate our path as we continue to rediscover masculinity through the lens of Scripture. Brothers, I thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all of our episodes, and join us as we seek to uncover the depths of godly manhood and the stories of those who walked before us. I'm your host, Pastor Benjamin Wilson. Until the next time, be savage, be gentle, be extraordinary.